There we go. Welcome everybody to Making Sales Social Live, brought to you by Social Sales Link. I'm Bob Woods, the LinkedIn Sherpa, and I'm joined by fellow LinkedIn and social selling professional who's also known as the LinkedIn Whisperer. Did they hear that? The LinkedIn Whisperer, Bryn Tillman. Sup, Bryn?
Hello, my friend. I'm really looking forward to this for many reasons. And I'll let you get started, but my energy level is so high on this. I'm so excited.
Welcome to Making Sales Social Live, as we share LinkedIn and social selling training, strategies, and tips that will have an immediate impact on your business. Join Bryn Tillman and me, Bob Woods, every week. Making Sales Social Live. This is the recorded version of our weekly Making Sales Social Live show.
Okay, yeah. So I got a short little intro, but I want to find out why that. I know why in general, but I have a feeling you've got some specific things going on in that brilliant mind of yours. So,
Brilliant. Thank you, Bob.
you're welcome. LinkedIn's algorithm has changed again. Once upon a time, say a few years ago, the algo was favoring personal, let's call them Facebook or Instagram style posts from LinkedIn members. And the algo would then push that type of content rather to your audience. Well, that practice is now history, thank God. Instead, LinkedIn's algorithm is back to favoring expert, helpful, and insightful content that its professional audience, people like you, me, Bryn, all of us, can use in their business worlds. One way that they're promoting this whole expert insight content idea, strategy, whatever you want to call it, is with a new feature called collaborative articles. And I think that these are really cool as well, Bryn, but bring that energy about why you're so pumped about this.
All right. So, a few things. So excited. Collaborative articles. First, let's talk about what it is. They're AI generated articles that LinkedIn is putting out there and is allowing us as a community to add our perspective.
That's a huge phrase, too. Add your perspective.
Yes. So, why am I excited? Well, number one, there's a bias in that Bob, Stan, and I were part of a group of maybe 50 or 60 people that were invited into LinkedIn a couple of weeks back. And we got to really immerse ourselves in the collaborative articles vision of where they want to take it. We got to talk with the three primary people who are in charge of collaborative articles. And we're really excited to have the opportunity to share thought leadership at scale, number one. Number two, it's a level playing field. Anyone can add insights. You don't have to be, you don't have to have a huge audience. You have the ability to find topics that you can speak to and have an equal voice across the platform. That's huge because this is not a fight for the algorithm.
Yeah,
right?
this is just people saying, "Hey, here's what I think. Here is my perspective."
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people are probably out there thinking that oh, this is just for LinkedIn experts or people who are in sales or just business wanting to sell stuff. Basically, I don't know about you, Bryn, but I wasn't prepared at that event in New York to meet so many different people from so many different walks of business life, I guess you could say. And I mean, there were so many different people who did so many different things. I thought that was incredible because LinkedIn is doing this part right. I think they are really opening this up to such a wide category of people.
Yeah, I mean, there were people in healthcare. There were people that were environmentalists. There were students.
Yeah, I mean, just looking through the overall topics right now, I mean, you've got everything from marketing to agriculture, public administration, healthcare, like you mentioned, engineering, HR management, oil and gas, the leisure industry, science, real estate, research development. I mean, there are there are so many different areas. And while we're going to dive into what we do, obviously, here in just a minute, I think that speaks to LinkedIn's desire to really keep this around. So that's something that we discussed afterwards, and that LinkedIn does stuff and then it takes it away. It does stuff, it takes it away. I mean, just the fact that they had all of us in and they're really putting resources and people and everything behind this is not going away.
We hope.
We
We
hope.
hope.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hope. We
We
think.
said that about stories, right?
Yeah, I
LinkedIn
know.
stories. Okay, but we're going to go under the assumption that this is going to hang around for a while. And one of the reasons I really think it will is just exactly what you said, Bob, which this is not a recruiting tool. This is not a sales tool. This is a thought leadership tool. This is a content tool that is meant for the community to share knowledge. And I really believe, as you know, from this point moving forward, this is a critical piece to all social media, right? It's really good, valuable content. So, we talked a little bit about that it's leveling the playing field. There's even an opportunity here for folks to get their voice in some of these topics before the big voices even engage. So there's a few things that come out of it, and we will talk a little bit on the social selling side of this because that's what we do. But before we go into that, I really want to talk about the branding side. So yes, you're getting your advice out there. People can upvote. So if they like your advice, you get votes on that, which is lovely. And we'll talk about strategically, where are you going to be engaging and adding your perspective. But this will lead toward badges, top voice badges. So I am privileged to have received my first top voice badge based on the fact that I really was engaging on the articles. And so, again, not only leveling the playing field, it can even give you a leg up when you have a badge, right? Right. So,
and then I'm sorry, just before, just because it's still fresh in people's mind.
Go.
These badges that Bryn mentioned actually go on your profile. So you can show one badge at a time. So if you have several badges in several categories, you can actually go in and select which badge you want to have up there. But just in terms of showing thought leadership, if you have a badge in your main area of expertise and it is on your profile, as Paris Hilton has been saying in her commercials lately, that's hot. Because you are recognized by LinkedIn because of your contributions as one of the top people in your area, and it's right there on your profile for everyone to see, and that's great.
Where do the performing arts fit in? That's great. Now, I will tell you right now, this is as beta as it can get. Right now, we're live in July. This whole program launched in March. I have not deeply gone through all the subcategories.
Yeah.
But I will say they are very open to suggestions. So if you have some ideas of categories, I'm not 100% sure where to go to request them, but reach out to one of us, in the next couple of days, and we can do a little bit of a deeper dive. But, there is a good feedback. Okay.
Yeah.
So
there's feedback there. Go ahead.
So there is, well, you've got to go a little deep. I'm going to put this in chat. Hopefully we'll get it into the show notes. But you can give feedback on an article. Nope, I'm wrong. See, don't do this stuff live because you go down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, exactly. So
reach out to us.
Yeah. So the one point that I do want to bring up to DeWanda is that, just because someone thinks a category may not be viable doesn't mean that it's not viable. Performing arts is huge out there. And I think that and it's a business, it's a viable business, people make money in this, and I think that the strikes by the Writers Guild Association and
That would be
by
the
the
time.
actors now, I mean, I think that that proves right there that performing arts is a business. So and in any business you want to show your thought leadership, and that's ultimately what this is
Oh, there
all
is an
about.
art. Okay. There is an art. So if you go to soft skills and art, there's stage lighting design, commercial design, animation, design research, music
Oh
technology.
yeah.
There's content. So, do a little, or do a little deep dive. You may find something in there that can really resonate with the performing arts
Bring up
there.
that menu URL again so that we can tell it to people, because we've been showing it live, but for people on the podcast, they're not seeing it. And quite frankly, I don't remember what it was. So if you could bring it.
LinkedIn.com/advice.
Yes, that's right. So that's how you. Looking to up your LinkedIn game? The Social Sales Link team has you covered with our LinkedIn Sales Accelerator, a guided social selling program that includes training, coaching, and so much more. Visit socialsaleslink.com/in for more details. Again, that's socialsaleslink.com/in. Get started with this whole thing. LinkedIn.com/advice. You can go there, and then you can drill into the categories and the subcategories. And then the way that it's working right now is that unfortunately not everyone can go in and just automatically contribute. And this is new. This is new since Tuesday. What you have to do is you have to click on a a button within the article, and I forget what it says right now. I think it's something like request to contribute or something like that. LinkedIn then goes over it, and then if you get approved, you can then start contributing to articles at that point. So it's not like everyone can do it right now. You do have to go through an extra step, but once you're in, and you can start contributing at that point.
You can upvote. You can read and
You
upvote.
can upvote. Yes, anyone can upvote right now.
Yeah, and the interesting thing around this, right, is now we have to start thinking, does our profile earn us the right to be a contributor? Is the content we've been
Yeah.
sharing earn us
Yeah.
the right to be a contributor? So make
Yeah.
sure you've got those pieces down too.
Yes. So you do need a really, really great profile, especially because people who are reading this stuff are naturally going to want to click through to your profile. So that's where you need to start proving that you are the thought expert in your industry and that you can back up what you have said in the article that you contributed to in the first place, that you collaborated on in the first place. I always want to call them contributed articles. It's not contributed articles, it's collaborative articles. So
Well, it's
collaborative articles.
both, but it's called
Yeah,
collaborative.
right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But yeah. So just a quick couple little tips around this. Because and we don't know the total algorithm around what's going to get you to the top voice. But what we do know is the more you engage and the more you share content that's reasonable, you get upvoted, that makes sense. And it will bring you closer to that. Here's the thing. If you hop and you see an article and there are 223 contributors and you go and you add your perspective, you're going to be way down in the list, and the chances that people ever read or let alone vote on your comment is really low. So a little trick, and this is the social selling brain of mine, is find the right topics, but then find the questions that have very few contributors, so that your first, second, or third, and people are actually reading your contribution. That's why we think contributors, because we're contributing.
Yeah, and I have a major yes and to that.
Good.
And I was going to talk about this a little farther down, but I'm going to bring it up now. So this is my if you ain't first, you're last strategy, and that comes from Ricky Bobby from Talladega Nights. There is one section that is almost never used in these articles, and that's at the very bottom, and it's a generic, have we not covered anything else? Go ahead and list something here. So with that, because no one else does it, you can gain that first top spot within that by offering, basically anything that kind of hasn't been addressed up top. So if you have like a slightly differing thought about things, or if you want to something up,
Summarize it.
yes, summarize it, you can do anything like that down there. And because so few people are using it, and like I said, I in any article that I've been through, no one is using that very bottom spot. You can dominate that bottom spot so that you are listed there. So if you ain't first, you're last. It's not quite like that, but I mean,
So be first on the last.
Be first on the last, exactly. And then if you're kind of like, well, this has all been covered pretty well, but I'm not really sure exactly what I can do. If you go to my profile, Bob Woods in LinkedIn, in my featured section, I have got an article in the very first position there about this whole strategy. There is a Chat GPT prompt in there that I'm not going to read right now because it's a little long, but you can copy that out. You can fill in the blanks, and that will give you some ideas to contribute to an article based on what's in the article too. So there are some blank places where you can enter in some information based on the article. This works because I've been using it.
So, and I love you said something in there that I'm just going to stress, which it will give you some ideas.
Yes, exactly.
So do not copy and paste. You've got to get your own voice around that.
Yes.
I'll tell you what I've been doing.
Mhm.
I've been jumping. So I've done a lot of this on my mobile, like when I was out and about doing stuff. And so what I'm doing is I'm voice texting, I'm reading it, and I'm voice texting or voice recording my ideas. And I'm just sharing voice to text. That's the word I want. Voice to text my ideas. It takes so little time for me to talk. It takes so much time for me to write.
Yeah.
So I just put my thoughts around this in voice to text, and it's taking no time at all. So that's my little tip.
Yeah, so that's great. So my other little tip is the domination strategy. So at least in the things that we contribute to, and this may or may not be in the categories that you might want to contribute to, but this is the domination strategy, and that's where an article may not have any contributions at all. If you find an article like that, or if it has like maybe one or two, that's it, fill in the rest of them. Dominate that article with your ideas.
That's a brilliant tip. So Judith asked, I have liked an article, but how can I comment? There is a short application button, correct?
Yeah, there is. I'm going to try to find that exact language, but yeah.
Yeah, it just rolled out Tuesday. Before that, I think it was beta tested. A lot of people had access to it. Some didn't. It rolled out kind of funky, but that's what we're used to, funky from LinkedIn. And but when you're in there, it should. And because I'm already contributing, I haven't seen it. I'm going to go test
I haven't either.
I'm going to go test it out. And I apologize for not being prepared. Usually I like to be prepared.
Kevin, our friend Kevin Turner actually covered this on Tuesday, and he has, I need to go into it. Yeah. So when you get to the article, if you can contribute, it will say contribute your perspective, or whatever. Right. If you don't have that, it will say request to contribute. When you click on that, it will then say, as it loops through, request pending.
Okay.
So that's how that's working right now. Whether that changes or not in the future, I don't know. But I think that they're probably anticipating a lot of people are going to do this. So they're kind of gatekeeping that a little bit, which, I get it's kind of frustrating, but yet I get it from their standpoint too.
Yeah. And I still think there are a ton of people that have it that don't realize.
Yes, that I agree with.
It was like a strange rollout. So if you have any questions here, I'm going to put in, if you go, I'm going to put this in chat. If you are welcome to join us at our next be our guest to coaching. If you go to social
That is
sales,
on the 20th, Thursday, the 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Now, if you're listening in podcast, just go to socialsaleslink.com/event and scroll down and just register for our next coaching. So socialsaleslink.com/events, scroll down. It's free. You're our guest, and bring these questions, share your screen, and we can help walk you through that.
Yep. So we've got a couple more comments really quick. How much time does LinkedIn need to invite contributors after engaging with existing comments? I mean,
I don't think you're going to be invited anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's the point is I think they rolled out to folks pretty randomly, maybe, who could contribute. And I think now you have to request it. And again, Bob and I are going to do our best to learn from someone who doesn't have it yet and go through those motions so we can tell you better how to request for that. But please come to our next Be Our Guest coaching, socialsaleslink.com/events. You can share your screen and we'll take a look at your specific situation and do our best to help you get access.
And then the other one is I'm excited to start working on some articles as well. How can I boost my skills?
I guess we want to understand skills on what? Is it writing skills? One of the things you could do is go to Bob's profile, go to his featured section, download that ebook, and look at the prompt that you can use with ChatGPT to get you started. And then you add your voice to...
Add your voice is huge.
Yeah, add your voice. The best way to build your skills is to do these 2 or 3 or 4 times a day, right? It's practice, collaboration. I highly recommend. You've got Grammarly, so that can help, with the writing, the grammar. And if you pay for Grammarly, it'll even help with context.
Yep.
So, there is a lot of things that you can do, but the best thing in increasing your skills is doing it.
Just do it. Just do it. It's that simple.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say that. I'm sure there's a ton of places where you can take writing classes as well. Check out Udemy for writing classes or LinkedIn Learning for writing classes. I'm sure there's a ton out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So so with that, I mean, so collaborative articles is definitely an evolving thing. We certainly don't have all the answers right now, but there's enough there that once you're approved, if you're not approved already, you can really go in and start building thought leadership with that, because this is really cool, and both Bryn and I are very excited about it. Exactly. Yay. So thanks again for joining us on Making Sales Social Live. If you're with us live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter right now, we do this every week. Sometimes we do it even more than once a week too, depending. So keep an eye out for our live sessions. If you're listening to us on our podcast right now, which means we're recorded for you, and you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe or follow button. If you want more information on our podcast, go to socialsaleslink.com/podcast. We do 2 shows weekly, this one and our Making Sales Social interview series, where we talk with leaders and experts in sales, marketing, business, and many, many more areas about many, many different things that can help you with your LinkedIn and social selling. So when you are out and about this week or any week, make sure to make your sales
social.
Don't miss an episode. Visit socialsaleslink.com/podcast. Leave a review down below. Tell us what you think, what you learned, and what you want to hear from us next. Register for free resources at linkedinlibrary.com. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Play. Visit our website, socialsaleslink.com, for more information.